everybody, welcome back to D7R TV. In the last video, if it's finally uploaded, we tackled the running issue on the Clio with no name. Still waiting for one of you guys to step up and give it a suitable name. But today, I did mention in the last video, as I said, if it has uploaded, because it seems to be taking a long time. There's also a video on an Audi TT, that we're putting up. We're going to tackle the interior and that driver's seat with the deployed airbag. We're going to change that out and we're going to show you how to do it. It's a fiddly job, but you're at the right place to find out how. I think the rest of the interior doesn't really need swapping out. I mean, seat-wise, it's in relatively decent condition, apart from some of the mildew and mold and creatures that are growing on it, but that's no biggie. That should tidy up nice. We're also going to change the dash top and show you how to do that, because the rubberized coating has come off and we're going to replace it with a non-RS one which doesn't have the sticky coating, and I seem to do that on most of my Clios just because it looks better. But let's get straight into it. So here we have our candidate, which is going to be the driver's seat for the Clio project. And we have stolen it from the Demigorgon Green Clio. So it's been fettled with before. Someone's done a bit of buckshy soldering underneath. So we need to figure that out, see if we can wire it up properly. And we're going to show you how to replace that. If we go over to the car, if you haven't already seen, I don't think it's got any worse than it was before. This seat is complete cabbage, but rear seats are not bad. They've got a little bit of residual mold on them. Passenger seats a bit worse, but as I say, that'll clean up. We're going to be doing a headliner, and we're also going to be doing a dash top, because this one's minging. It's got dog hairs and shit all over it. Like, I'm not about that life. I don't let my dogs in my car. They go in my work van. There's a bit of mildew and stuff growing on the rear door cards, or rear quarter panel cards, or whatever you call them. These aren't too bad. These will clean up, these door cards. A few trims and stuff. I think this aircon panel's half decent. We're gonna get rid of the original stereo and put a new one in there. And this switch panel here is all tacky and sticky, so we're going to get rid of that. I'm too old and too fat to roll around under the floor. I know some of you guys don't have the privilege of having a ramp, but I'm going to show you because it's going to be better. I can't film while rolling around on the floor if I was going to reenact what I'd be doing at home. So I'm going to put the car in the air, you'll get some good footage, and we're going to show you how to remove the seats. Right, let's get into it. While it's in the air, I took the under tray off earlier, and I noticed that we have another little issue here. In the first video I put up when I bought the car, and just give you a look around and a little tour, notice that the gear shifter was a little bit sloppy. Well, very sloppy. And it seems that this spring here has snapped off. There's supposed to be another loop which goes around this little pivot here. And these are £6 off eBay, so that'll be a nice easy fix. You put it around there, then slide it up there. So that's another thing we're going to do. Up here, I've already took the pleasure of putting some squirt juice on, and we're going to undo 1, 2, we're going to take these grommets off, 3, 4, and inside there should be 14mm nuts that we have to undo, and then that'll release the seat from the seat base of the car. So yeah, let's get into it.
Hopefully you've got a good shot of inside here, and we've got a pry tool. We just want to be taking the secondary plug off the bottom of the seat, just trying to pop that off, just to make life a little easier if we can. I'm trying not to be in the way like the other video. Can't promise anything, but yeah. This has got a yellow plug, and you got your pick tool in there, and you can slide it open. Then you have this secondary plug here, and it's got a little red bit on it. And it should get the pick tool in there. Pop off. There we go. So that's off there. Route the wire through, like so. And the seat should be ready to pull out. Right then, over to the seats. That's the old one, and this is the new one. And the new one has had some wires cut off here. I don't know whether they've broke and they've tried to solder it back on, but all these wires go to, probably that to the one side. Oh, try it on this side. All these wires go to the seat pre-tensioner and to your actual seatbelt locking mechanism. As you can see, it looks like someone shaved a Yeti in there. It's disgusting. I remember seeing the woman's dog was only a little thing. Can't believe it's so airy. What we're going to do is we're going to swap this over and change the seat pre-tensioner if we can, and try and swap the loom and this over, so we don't have to do any soldering. It's no biggie if I have to, because I'm pretty good at soldering, but I'd rather not, and I want a nice clean finish. First of all, there's a T20 holding this plastic cover on, and we're going to remove them off both seats so we can have a look at the pre-tensioner and see what that's saying, and seeing if we can swap them over. That looks like a T40 on here, so we'll try and find a tool for that, and I'll let you know what it is. And let's get this off, see if we can free up some of this loom. We don't want to be using the pre-tensioner because obviously it's fired, and hopefully we can get all this loom off. All right, so this seatbelt anchor point here is a T40. Hopefully you don't have one with cabbage seats and they're just ripped and you're just changing them out and you don't have to change the pre-tensioners. I've never done this before, so you're learning on the job with me. I'll go through this first so you don't have to. It looks like it's pressed on. Maybe. Got another little plug down here. I'm not sure what this does. Not sure how it comes off either, but cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll double check this against the other one, so I don't know if this is fired or not. So I've been over to the good seat, and this tensioner has definitely fired off. So we're gonna see if I can take this off, because this is the wire which has been soldered on the other one, and these are T10s. So I'm just gonna undo these and see if there's a little clip or something holding the loom on, or if it's something we can swap over. But knowing my luck, this is probably going to fall to pieces and be useless, and I'll end up cutting and soldering the new one in anyway. Right, okay. This looks like it clips on. If it does, winning. So that's to say your handbrakes, not your handbrake, your seat's buckled in. I don't know what this thing's for. There's a little plug thing down here, and that's just clipped up. I probably snapped it, knowing my luck. Yeah, I have. Shit. Oh well, nothing a bit of super glue can't sort out. There's a little rivet that held that in place. Shit design really, should have been a little Torx or something, like everything else on these cars. But we should be able to get this loom off now and get it transferred over onto the other seat. Press that down and this slides out the side. So this is the little thing I've snapped off. There's a little bracket which goes on there, like a little L-shaped bracket, and it's got a rivet in there. So hopefully, I'm still gonna have to solder anyway. I'm just gonna cut this plug off probably and just solder it onto the other one. It's a bit of a pain in the fucking arse, but it's the first time I tried this, and yeah, it is what it is. Right, we're going to take the T40, take the pre-tensioner off. There's a little plug on the top here, it should pop off, like so. This one clearly, now I know what I'm looking at, hasn't gone off. So we're going to be using this one. Slide this off. If you come around here, here's that little plug I was on about. That's snapped. Snap this little plastic thing off. I could just glue it in, but I'm going to have a go at drilling that out and dropping a rivet in there. Alright, so we drilled that out. Just going to pull these looms back through here. It's easier said than done. It's our ganky one. This fucking thing's stuck. Put that back on there. Jesus Christ. Oh, let's just stick a bastard seat in your car. See why people cut them now, can't you? Would have been easier to try to take this off here and feed it through by the look of it, but I'm still going to persevere. Voila. Right, through a little bit of luck, I noticed that these little flaps pop up on the plugs. So I don't think there's going to be any cutting and soldering. We need to replace this and change it over to the other one because the pre-tensioner has been cut off that one seat. So that's what that was. And if we can unpick this and put it onto the other loom, we should be cooking on gas. So inside here, when you lift these little levers up, you can press that down and pull the wire out. Like so. So if I do that to this one, I should be able to swap them over. So get a little flat screwdriver in here. Watch this one be a knob now. In fact, I don't even think I need to flick that thing up. So the second one in. I've undone the blue. So push the blue wire down. I do need to flick that up because it's going to get caught on the inside. So yeah, flick this up. If I can remember how to do it. One way or the other. How have I done it on there? So levers up from the front. This one's a lot harder than the other one. The other one just popped up. So you gotta do it side by side. No idea now. There we go. Stab myself in the hand. Nice. Just those two. Separated ones. So if I press blue one down, it's popped out of there, then press it down again. Off she pops. So now this one can go in there. And that's clicked in nice. Flip it over. Press the pin down. I have got some tools for these. Little loom tools, but I don't know what I've done with them. So pop that out of there. And that's removed that broken one. So now I need to pop this one off. Pop that down there. Pop again. Now I should be able to push this in here. There's a top and a bottom. Like so. And that is our unbroken loom. Winning. Right, I found the right candidate for a rivet and to start putting this seat back together. So we're going to get this thing back in here. If you want to know what that looks like, there's the rivet hole. That goes through the bottom of that, and this slides in there, and I think that's to trigger the seatbelt pretensioner. It's a bit awkward with one pair of hands. I really need a cameraman. Let me get the rivet. So that's riveted back in now. This can go back on there now with the T40. If it wants to play ball. I know this is long-winded, but I said that I want to do this properly and I'm not going to half-arse it. I mean, it'd be easier just to solder it in, but if I don't have to and I can do it properly and have no breaks in wires and stuff, especially when it's airbag related, I'd rather go this route the long way. You should too. Plug for the pretensioner clipped in. I'll put another thing around there. What's it called? Had a brain shit. See, all that's one now, so we've got to try and feed this back through there. This is a pain in the ass. Jesus Christ. On a bike. Come on. Stuck on something. Definitely catching on something. Ah, there we go. This will slide back on here. I'll probably pull it the wrong way, but that's no biggie. It's got a cable tie round here, cable tie this round here, and almost time to put it back in the car. Right, so that's the plugs back into position. It's cable tied up as it was. It's got a cable tie in there as well. The T20 is back in here, and that's all secure. Now the seat's ready to go back in the car and be plugged in. Right, this is almost impossible to try and film in here, so I'm going to do my best. We're going to get the grey plug. Right, there you are. Plug that in. That's in there. Now the red plug. Can't see for shit in here. It goes that way. Would have had my torch, but it's on charge. This is the other way. Right. That's now plugged in. That's now plugged in. That's back on there. So there's no cut loom now. And you've got these 4 mounting points, one at the back there, one here, and one directly underneath me. It's going to get them lined up and then send her up in the air and 14mm nut time and secure the seat. Winning. Well, the seat's in position now. As you can see, all this area is not hanging out of it, and it's in probably the same sort of condition as a passenger seat, apart from the mold, which will clean. So that's a win. There's no cutting corners. It's all been done properly. Just got to get her up in the air now and put the 4 bolts in, or 4 nuts, and secure it, and then we can start tackling the rest of it in here. Nice. So a cheeky little 5-minute scrub up in here. I don't feel like I need to have a vaccination anymore. It's not perfect. It will have a full valet at some point when it's on the road or it's MOT'd. Next up, we're gonna tackle the dash. We're gonna take these off. We're gonna strip all the dash top off and replace it with a non-cup one, because they don't have all this nasty sticky stuff that the Yeti dogs sort of stuck to. So yeah, that's what's next. Right then, here we have a non-RS dash top, and as you can see, this does not, it's starting to rain a little bit, this does not have any of the sticky stuff on, because if you have a look in our car here, it's absolutely minging. It's covered in dog hair. And you can see me fingerprints sticking to it. We're going to show you a little hack to get the stereo out as well. But this needs to go because it's vile. I'm going to try and find a pair of these as well from a non-RS. So that'll have the same finish as this, which I think looks cleaner. I'm not really arsed about the little sparkly thing that was in there. It's probably cool in the early 2000s, like, but it's not cool now, especially the sticky stuff. So let's get into it. All right, so first of all, either side we have a little plastic grommet here, and it's a T30. You want me taking that off? We'll pop round to the other side. Same again this side. We need to take this panel off. Should just pop off like that, and you've got 3 T20s. Up in the top of the dash, you can see it in there. You've got a T20 on the passenger side. In the middle, you've got a T20. And you can guess, on the driver's side, you've also got a T20. Back over to the driver's side. You've got a little panel here. If you tuck your finger in down this corner, you might be able to pop it off. If not, you can get a little tool. Oh, I've got it. You got another T20 here. You take this cowling off. You got 2 T20s there. Then there's a long one here, and then this should pop off. Behind here, when you've took this cowling off, there's 2 more T20s, and that should be all the bolts or T20s that you need to take off to remove this dash top. But before you can remove that, you need to remove these trims here, either side. Then it should give you enough room to maneuver and pull off the dash top. T30, I'll try not to get in the way like I did the last video. So take this little T30 out here first. Try and get the grommet out as well. And just pull it somewhere safe. I'm putting it in the door card. And go and do the other side. Take off your T20s. They shouldn't be too tight. So you got 3 here. Always put them somewhere safe because you're going to re-need them. Or reuse them, should I say. I'm going to put them in the cup holder. We're just going to try and tidy up this cabin a little bit. They can be better. Don't forget this little one up in this corner. Just give it a feel with your finger. Try and get a stubby T20 if you can. Otherwise it'll foul the windscreen and just make it a bit of a pain. They can be fiddly, especially taking the dash top out. The one I removed, that's going to be going in here, was probably the hardest one to date. And you got your middle one, which we'll do now. Make sure you get them out because you won't get the dash top out without them if they're still stuck in. They can be fiddly, but just be patient. You know when I'm on that payroll, you know that I don't wanna lay low. I'm making noise when I say so. You know when take this one out here. Constantly healing scars. You know this moment is a gift and it becomes the past. I'm made from fire and steel, this soul is meant to last.
constantly healing scars. You know this moment is a gift and it becomes the past.
They take a bit of time to get out. And then my little girl running around in the background. The wife sorting the horses out, so there you have it. Now we're going to take this off, this undercowling. Try and get a feel for it. Hopefully it's not rounded off. Would be my luck if it had. Oh, it's just a bugger to find. And the other side. Then we'll remove the one underneath. Might need a longer one. I think we got him. As I said, this is much longer than all the others. So you can't really get it mixed up. Like so. And we can pull this bottom cowling off. Need to undo the top first, but we need to remove this here, and this isn't too hard. I won't be able to show you on camera, but there is a little pin at the top. If you press it down, I can't believe I've got my face so close to this minging steering wheel. It just pops out like so. Then you've got two tabs either side. It pops off. Now that allows you to remove this bottom cowling. Like that. Now that's out of the way, you've got two T20s here. I'll use a longer one. Don't forget to put all these back in. You don't want a rattly dashboard. They're nice and stiff. Right, and that's starting to go now. And that, my friends, is all the little bolts holding the dash top in. So now it's getting the interior trim panels off and try and pry it out. First of all, you need to get the door rubber out of the way. So just pull this out of the way, like so. Same the other side. It's easier to get it from this angle. Try not to rip your rubber off. Get that out of the way, like so. Then it's time to do the interior trims. Right, interior trims. You just need to pop them. Try not to damage them. Go one way, so pop them towards the car. Then get the outside one. And they pop like that. It sounds a bit scary. And then up, inside here, there's one clip. which you'll see when you're doing it. This one here, just squeeze that in and that should come out the way. And then just get this out the way and then onto the other side. So pull it in, twist it, make sure it doesn't clip back in. Run your fingers down the back. There, big pops. That's just coming off the bracketry. Then back towards you. Then the clip. Then lift, if it'll allow it. Try not to smash yourself in the face or cut your fingers. And there we have that. Now it's time to pull the dash out. Right, there's no sort of easy way to do this, but you want to pop it up from here. They're clipped in at the middle. They pop here. Then you got to pop it the other side. Try not to get a handbrake up my arse. As I say, it's a bit brutal, but they do go. They're clipped in up by the top of the windscreen as well. Sometimes they get caught on the airbag bracketry, and that's a pain. So just work your way around and try and lever it where it seems to be stuck is the way to go about it. So this side's all relatively loose and it's probably going to be stuck over on the passenger side. Give it a lift this side. And a bit of a pull and they lift up. Get these out of the way. Sometimes these will pop off, sometimes they won't, they're just clipped in. And just like the other side, it seems to be the one I took off that's going in here, gets stuck. Right, after beating shit out of it for about 10 minutes, it was actually getting stuck on the passenger airbag bracket, but after wrestling with it, it did come out in the end. It is undamaged. Another thing you need to sort out as well, which might get embarrassing MOT time, is you need to swap the IDs over. We're only swapping a dash top, we're not trading identification of the car. Obviously, when you're having an MOT, you need to have the correct VIN in your windscreen, so don't forget to swap them over. And it's time to put this back in the car. Now this is just a complete reversal of how we took it out of the car. Make me cry. Right, as you notice, the dash is still not in because I've just had a bit of an afterthought. This is your airbag module, and here is the bracketry which clips in, and this is what causes your dash top to be a bit of a pig to get out. But through that vent that's in the top, you can press it down. As you can see, I've got a bit feisty with this one. I'm actually going to delete this airbag because this is going to be a track car and we don't really need it. So what we're going to do is Going to unplug these here, which you've got a little clip here. There's 4 T20s, 2 either side, and you can pop this off. I'm probably going to need a picky tool. And then we're going to install these. These are your airbag resistors, and we obviously need to fit 2 to the steering wheel as well, because we're changing the steering wheel to the aftermarket one. So let's get into it. Just tape it into position so it doesn't come loose. I've picked probably arguably the shittest tape known to man, but heyo, it is what I've got at hand. It keeps ripping, but that's one done. And then we're going to do the same to the other side, and we're going to take these T20s out now. Watch you don't smash your windscreen. That wouldn't have been a good day. I mean, this is totally your choice. You don't have to take the airbag out, but while the dash top's off, it seems like a why not moment. I don't need it. I don't want these going off if I have a bit of an off. I mean, Debbie, the original owner of this, she only hit a bump and the driver's seat one went off, so I don't fancy that. I mean, this will have bucket seats, but for the meantime, for MOT purposes and stuff, it's going to slam. Well, we already have replaced the driver's seat. These, in theory, should stop you from having an airbag light. And it's out, like so. So I'm going to tape this one up. Then hopefully, the dash top will go back in nice. So that's the airbag resistors now taped up. It's time to get that dash top back in. And hopefully, she plays ball this time. In my gubbins, I found another switch panel, hazard light switch panel, and to be fair, it's one of the best ones I've seen. It's not sticky, it's all nice and shiny, and it's definitely a lot better than what this one is that's got all the Yeti dog hairs all over it. But first of all, you can just basically use a little plastic trim tool and pop this out, but we're going to be popping the stereo out. So that, if I move my arse, I've fashioned a bit of 1.5mm wire. It's a bit of TIG welding wire. Just bent it to shape so it should fit in the holes, like so. We're just going to fashion a stereo removal tool. I mean, there's no simple science behind it. You just push them in, then push them out, and voila, the stereo will pop out. Then you've got a black, a white, a blue, and a yellow plug. Try not to scratch the shit out of your dash when you pull these out. They've got like a little pressing tab. Typical Renault stuff. This one's tight. So yeah, they've got a little push tab. We're not using these anyway. We'll be using the black and the white plug. These are notoriously fiddly to get out. You just got to push the tab in. Easier said than done. Then lift the plug out. While you're here, that just pops out like so. Again, red one's got 2 push clips on the side. The black one's in the middle, which is your hazards, has got 1. And then you've got a brown one for your rear window heater. And that'll pop out too, with 2 tabs on the side. You're probably thinking this is all long-winded, but as you see in the last video, it's a definitive guide. I'm going to try and show you everything. You can skip through to what bits you need, but the main thing is all the information you need is going to be in these videos. So you can't really get stuck. You can see the way I do it. If it's easier for you, then I've done my job properly. I mean, if I get stuck on something, at least you know what to look out for. And these are proper stuck in here. Come on. Anyway, there's 2 tabs on there. I'm going to fight with them. And you don't really need to watch. I'll show you afterwards. Right, so they're off. And this is what I was struggling with. Pushing these pins out. They can get stuck. So they push in. There's a blue, a yellow, a black, and a white one. Most stereos will come with a conversion harness, and you're going to be using the black and the white one. Here's your lock-in on this switch panel here for the hazards. This is the one for your central lock-in. This one's your hazard one, which is a press down tab in the middle, like so. And this brown one is your heated rear screen. Another thing as well, there's a little panel here. This one's all sticky. It just pulls off. Look, it literally vile. Sticks to your fingers. And I have a non-sport one, which is not sticky in the slightest. And this just clips in like so. So let's get this nice new switch panel in. Try and do it one-handed. Well, the lock works because I just press the button. Clip the middle one in for your hazards. Then your brown one. I'm not sure if the ignition needs to be on, but we'll find that out now. Make sure it all works. Back in a sec. Right, turns out the actual button was faulty, so I've just swapped it over. There's 4 little tabs, 2 on either side. You press them both and it pops out, and you just swap them over. So now this all works. And off, like so. Now this can go in, and but jobs are good in. Right then guys, as nice as that switch panel was, I actually found a non-cup one, so it's non-sticky, so I think that's the way we're going to go forward. So we're going to fit a stereo now. I've just fitted the microphone. It's not necessarily saying that your new stereo has got a microphone on it, but mine has, so I didn't want to bore you with that because it might not be relevant. So you want to put your little cage in. This one's a bit twisted up because I had to get it out of one of my spare cars. And the aim is to sit this in the space. It can be tricky. Make sure you get it the right way up. I'm not sure if I have or not, but I can't see it being too much of a problem. It's come out of a Clio, so it's going to go back in one. Right, so that's sat in there now. And you've got a shit ton of little tabs. This is probably upside down to the way I got it out the other car. You just want to bend the tabs down to stop your stereo from falling out. For me, stereo's a biggie. I like my music. So I'm pretty sure some of you will do it too. And we just want to be pushing these tabs down to stop the stereo from falling out or whatnot. Some at the top, some at the side. Either way, get them tabs bent in. Should keep it nice and secure. At this point, the interior is not too bad. It did stop recording for some reason. I don't know whether I sat on the remote, but it's just a case of plugging in your stereo plugs, pushing your stereo into position, and jobs are good in. Now we're going to be tackling these, because as you can see, they're hairy and that's not for me. So we're going to put some non-RS ones in there and they shouldn't be sticky. Right, so passenger side, we have a non-RS unit here, and to remove this you've got a little grommet which should just pop up like so. Don't lose that. Then inside there you have a little T20, so you've got 2 plugs, a white one, then you've got a brown one. The brown one, the little piece should pop out. You have to pull this back, I think, if I remember right. It can be a faff. Try and find my little picky tool again. Like so, that pops out of there. Then we're just going to plug our new one in. If it wants to go, possibly not. Should go in there. There we go. Clip. And clip. And this should sit back into position. Then we need our T20 to go back in, like so. Tighten her up. the little grommet in. Winning. Same again on the driver's side, your little grommet. Picks out, don't lose him. Undo the T20. As you can see, you got your electric mirror adjuster here. We won't have that on the new unit. So we'll unplug that. You got a push tab there which pops out of that. And this should pull out of here. In theory, might need to pop this up. Try and find me a little pry tool, screwdriver, whatever. Yeah, and that pops out of there. So that one's going to be redundant now. I'm going to pop the electric window switches back in. Make sure that button doesn't catch on anything. And that's in there. I think it makes for a cleaner look as well. If you're asked about electric windows, this probably isn't for you, but as we're not, this is definitely for us. But it also shows you how to replace them or how to get them off, so you can, if you've got a faulty power window switch, etc. Then got a little grommet. Pushes in, and voila.
No hay forma, vivo sin horma. Yo ando relajado porque el money me retorna. Ya tú sabes porque tu jeva no se reporta. Ubícate porque ya ni te soporta. No hay forma, vivo sin horma. Rockstar living, no boss man. So let me close that, so let me close that, so let me close that, so let me close that.
So there we have it for this video, guys. The interior is a lot more habitable. We changed the switch panels in the doors. We changed the dash top. The switch panels on the dash. And a few other little bits and bobs, and fitted a stereo. We can't fit everything into this video. We know that these videos are long, but we're doing you a favour. We're upgrading our car, and we're just showing you how to go about it. And then you can use us as a guide. They're in depth, so you shouldn't really go wrong. There's pretty much a step-by-step guide to everything, the bolt sizes, what clips are there, etc. In the next video, we're going to tackle the steering wheel because that's a big letdown. So we're going to change it to an aftermarket one. We're going to delete the airbag and use some of the resistor units. They are from eBay. I think they were about a tenner for 5 or something. So they're not that expensive. You can get the little ones which are pence, but they're a bit shit. When you can buy a proper unit that just plugs in, you can't really go wrong, and it's worth the extra coin. There is still quite a lot to tackle in here. We're going to be doing the headlining. I'm leaving that to last because it's something that I'm dreading, but the interior is a lot, as I say, more habitable. So if you like these videos, please like, share, subscribe. Not many of you subscribe, not as many as you that watch them anyway. Drop us a hype. We've not had any of these hype things yet. It'd be nice to see what that's all about, and we'll see you very soon on the next one. Adios.
Nada, baby, entonces lo que yo te quería decir era que mientras el ice andaba ahí en la calle.